Tonight you put on a metal suit because you, a regular person with a normal amount of upper body strength, decided that today was the day you became a superhero. This is a terrible idea. You know this. You are doing it anyway. The suit beeps. It always beeps first. That's the sound of regret, mechanically translated. My arms went in. My legs went in. My dignity stayed on the floor of my apartment, where it has lived since 2019. And then the chest plate clicked shut, and a small robotic voice in my ear said, initializing, which is what computers say right before they ruin your life politely. Here's the thing nobody tells you about being a billionaire genius playboy philanthropist. You have to actually be one of those things first. I am none of them. I am a guy. I had a credit card and a dream and an alarming amount of free time. I am also, technically, banned from 2 Home Depots. Unrelated. Or extremely related. Depends who's asking. So let's back up. It started, like all bad decisions do, on a Tuesday. I found blueprints. Real ones, somehow, glowing faintly in a drawer I swear I didn't own. The label said experimental powered armor, do not wear unsupervised, which, if you know anything about me, is basically a personalized invitation. I built the suit in a garage. It took 3 weeks, 2 fire extinguishers, and 1 deeply uncomfortable conversation with my downstairs neighbor about the noises. The noises were me. Learning to fly. Badly. Somewhere around week 2, my mother called to ask why the power bill looked, in her words, criminal. I told her I was working on a science project. She asked if the science project involved becoming a superhero. I said no. She said okay, suspiciously, in the tone mothers use when they already know and are simply giving you the chance to lie badly to their face. The blueprints themselves were insane. Page after page of systems I didn't understand, labeled with the kind of casual confidence only a deeply unhinged genius could muster. Repulsor array, output adjustable, recommend starting low. Cool. Helpful. I started at maximum immediately, because I am a man, and men do not read step 2 before attempting step 7. The first boot up alone took 4 attempts. Attempt 1, nothing. Attempt 2, the left glove turned on by itself and slowly, menacingly, gave a thumbs up to no one. Attempt 3, every light in the garage turned green, then a deeply unsettling shade of orange, then exploded a single popcorn kernel I'd left on the workbench, which, weirdly, remains the single most impressive thing the suit has ever done. Attempt 4 worked. Mostly. The chest plate hissed open like a soda can with trust issues, gold light flooding out, and somewhere deep in the wiring, something that sounded suspiciously like a tiny robotic throat clearing itself. The first time the suit powered on, gold and red light poured out of every seam like the world's most aggressive disco ball, and a voice, not mine, definitely not mine, smoother, calmer, slightly judgmental, said, "Welcome back, sir." I have never been called sir by anything that wasn't trying to sell me a warranty. I liked it immediately. I should not have liked it immediately. "Sir," the suit said again, "vitals are unstable." "That's just how I am," I said. Understood. Adjusting expectations. The suit, it turns out, has opinions. Strong ones. It does not approve of my diet. It does not approve of my sleep schedule. It definitely does not approve of the time I tried to fly to the grocery store and instead launched myself directly into a tree, hovered there upside down for 4 full seconds, and then said, out loud, to absolutely no one, "I'm fine." I was not fine. The tree was also not fine. The tree filed a complaint with the city. I assume. Trees don't have lawyers, but if they did, that one would have hired the best. Here's what the movies don't show you, the learning curve. Tony Stark makes it look like one practice flight and boom, hero. In reality, my first week was less Avenger and more man repeatedly falls upward. Repulsors, by the way, are just rocket boots with self-esteem issues. Push too hard, you go to space. Push too soft, you faceplant into a Wendy's drive-thru speaker and order, out of sheer panic, a number 4. I want to talk about that drive-thru incident specifically, because it deserves a moment of silence. I had been airborne for 11 seconds, a personal record, feeling genuinely heroic, wind in my face, gold and red streaking across a suburban sky like a very expensive sunset. Then a gust hit. Then physics remembered I existed. Then I was inverted, 60 feet up, screaming a word I will not repeat, and the suit, calm as a yoga instructor, said, "Recommend bracing for impact." I did not brace. I do not know how to brace. I simply arrived. The speaker survived. Barely. The nice teenager working the window did not ask a single question, which is either the most professional thing I've ever witnessed or proof that flying men crashing into fast food is just Tuesday in this town. I did get one thing right immediately, though, the pose. You know the one. Crouch down, fist to the ground, dramatic dust cloud, stand up slow like you didn't just fall 50 feet and pray to a god you don't believe in. That pose, I nailed on day 1. Everything else, day 147, optimistically. By day 30, I had upgraded from falling upward to falling upward with style, which the suit's AI generously logged in its internal notes as marginal improvement, sir, and I use that word loosely. So why do it? Why strap yourself into a metal coffin with anger management issues and throw yourself at the sky? Because somewhere between the third faceplant and the fourth, something in my chest clicked that had nothing to do with the arc reactor. For the first time in my extremely average life, I felt like I mattered in a way that involved lasers. Let's talk about the suit itself for a second, because it deserves its own introduction, the way a difficult coworker deserves a warning label. It has thrusters in the palms, which is great for flying and catastrophic for high-fiving. It has a targeting system that once locked onto a pigeon with the seriousness of a war criminal. It has a built-in AI that narrates my failures back to me in real time, like a sports commentator who has given up on the home team. Sir, that was not a successful landing. I know, buddy. I am not your buddy. I am a $400 million piece of military-grade hardware. Cool. My buddy. We bicker. It's a whole relationship now. I've had healthier ones with actual humans. The armor is also, somehow, a mood ring for my entire personality. Confidence high, the suit flies smooth, sleek, a flying compliment to itself. Confidence low, say, after getting yelled at by a bird I tried to save, the suit clunks. It trips. It once walked directly into a wall while fully operational because I was thinking about an embarrassing thing I said in 8th grade. The suit remembers 8th grade now too. We don't talk about it. It also has a scanning function, which sounds useful and is mostly humiliating. Pointed at a villain, it tells you their threat level, weaknesses, structural integrity. Pointed at me, accidentally, during a moment of low self-esteem, and it printed across the visor, in friendly green text, posture, concerning. Recommend therapy. Also a sandwich. I have never felt so seen by a piece of military hardware. There was also the incident with the cat. My neighbor's cat, a fat orange terror named Gerald, wandered into the garage one afternoon while the suit was mid-diagnostic. The targeting system, fully autonomous, fully committed, locked onto Gerald with the seriousness of a war criminal and announced, "Hostile detected. Threat level, low. Engaging non-lethal deterrent." The non-lethal deterrent was a single, gentle puff of air from the palm thruster. Gerald was unbothered. Gerald, in fact, sat down directly in front of the suit and stared at it for 11 straight minutes, as if personally offended that a grown man's emotional support exoskeleton had tried to assess him as a combatant. We have not resolved this. Gerald still looks at me funny. Eventually, though, something happened that the suit could not clunk its way out of. A building was on fire. A real one. Real flames, real screaming, real stakes, the kind of moment every secretly a superhero daydream is built around and absolutely none of them prepare you for. I was 3 blocks away, buying a sandwich, fully unsuited, when I heard it. Sirens, then screaming, then that particular kind of silence that happens right before everyone realizes the fire trucks are going to be too slow. I ran home faster than I have ever run, faster than the suit had ever flown me, dignity completely irrelevant, sandwich abandoned on a stranger's car hood, presumably still there, presumably someone's lunch now. I flew and actually flew, no tree involved, personal best, and the suit's voice changed. Calm. Focused. All the judgment drained right out of it, replaced by something almost gentle. Sir. I've got you. Not you've got this. Not good luck. I've got you. Like the suit, this absurd pile of gold titanium attitude that had spent 3 months roasting me for tripping over curbs, had decided that right now, in the one moment that actually counted, it was going to be the steadiest thing in the building. There was a woman on the 3rd floor, a kid on the 2nd, a very stubborn dog on the 1st who did not want to be rescued and made that extremely clear with his teeth. The suit handled the structural collapse risk calculations. I handled the part where I yelled, "It's okay, I'm friendly," at a terrified golden retriever while flames licked the ceiling above us, which, in retrospect, is not a sentence that has ever once been reassuring to anybody, canine or otherwise. We pulled people out. All of them. Even the dog, eventually, once he decided that being carried by a flying metal stranger was preferable to becoming extremely well done. I did the dramatic landing pose afterward out of pure muscle memory, knees buckling slightly, very much not on purpose this time. And here's the twist nobody saw coming, including me: the suit was never the hero. I built a $400 million excuse to finally show up for something. The metal didn't make me brave. It just gave my cowardice somewhere fancy to hide while the bravery snuck up behind it. Turns out the real upgrade wasn't the repulsors or the targeting system or the AI with the personality of a disappointed older sibling. It was that somewhere in all that falling upward, I stopped being a guy with a credit card and a dream, and became a guy who, when the building was on fire, did not hesitate. The suit just happened to be there to film it. These days I still trip. I still order chicken nuggets through emergency drive-through intercoms at terminal velocity. The AI still narrates my failures with the warmth of a parking ticket. None of that changed. What changed is what happens when it actually matters. And that part, it turns out, was never made of titanium at all. So tonight, when you put on whatever counts as your suit, your work clothes, your responsibilities, your own ridiculous, oversized version of "I should not be doing this," and the chest plate clicks shut, and a small voice somewhere says vitals are unstable, just remember. That's not failure powering on. That's you, a regular person with a normal amount of upper body strength, deciding that today is the day you become a superhero anyway.